All right, are you ready for this? Get ready to explore the night sky this week because it's packed with celestial events you will not want to miss.
Oh, yeah?
We're talking Mars disappearing, Venus and Saturn like almost touching, and even a chance to spot a comet.
Wow.
All of this is happening right above us in North America during January 2025.
It really is quite remarkable how all these events are clustered together within just a few days.
Yeah.
Almost as if the universe is orchestrating a celestial symphony.
Symphony.
Just for us.
I love that. And to kick things off, we've got a full moon, but not just any full moon.
Right.
It's the wolf moon.
It is.
I always get excited about the names they give each month's full moon.
Yeah.
You know, it adds a little extra magic to the experience.
Indeed. And this wolf moon, which is the traditional name for January's full moon, has a special trick up its sleeve.
Okay.
On Monday the 13th, it's going to occult Mars.
Okay, wait, occult?
Yeah.
I have to admit, I'm not familiar with that term.
Sure.
What exactly does it mean when the moon occults something?
Think of it as a celestial hide-and-seek game.
Oh.
An occultation happens when one celestial object passes in front of another from our perspective here on Earth.
Okay.
So in this case, the moon will completely cover Mars for a short while,
Really?
making it seem to vanish from the night sky.
Wow, Mars just like disappearing. That sounds incredible.
It is a sight to behold.
Like a magic trick on a cosmic scale.
You could say that.
Would it look like Mars just blinks out suddenly, or is it more of a gradual fading?
It's actually a gradual process.
Okay.
You'll see Mars slowly disappear behind the moon's edge, and then after a while,
Oh, wow.
it'll magically reappear on the other side.
That's amazing. I wouldn't want to miss that.
Yeah.
So where in the sky should we be looking to see this occultation?
Well,
And what time should we set our alarms for?
the moon and Mars will be hanging out near the bright stars, Castor and Pollux, in the constellation Gemini.
Okay.
The exact timing of the occultation does depend on your location, but it will occur during the night of Monday, January 13th, and into Tuesday, January 14th.
Oh, okay.
To get specific viewing times for your area, I recommend checking out a website like in-the-sky.org.
Oh, okay.
It's a fantastic resource for all things astronomy.
Great tip. I'll definitely be checking that out to make sure I don't miss this occultation. But speaking of Mars, I understand there's something else special happening with the red planet this week.
Absolutely.
Oh,
This week, Mars is reaching opposition.
okay.
It's like Earth is lapping Mars in our race around the sun,
Uh-huh.
placing us directly between Mars and the sun.
So if we're like passing right by Mars,
Yeah.
does that mean we'll get an extra special view of it?
Precisely, opposition is the prime time to observe Mars
Okay.
because it's closer to Earth during this alignment.
Right.
It appears much brighter and larger than usual,
Wow.
making it a fantastic opportunity to break out a telescope and try to spot some of its surface features.
I've always wanted to see Mars through a telescope.
Yeah.
I know it's called the red planet,
Right.
but can you actually see that reddish hue with the naked eye?
You can?
What about features like its polar ice caps? Are those visible too?
Yes. Mars definitely lives up to its nickname.
Yeah.
You can often see that reddish tint even without a telescope,
Really?
especially when it's near opposition and shining brightly.
Wow.
With a good telescope and steady viewing conditions, you might even be able to glimpse those polar ice caps,
No way.
which appear as white patches at the planet's poles.
That's mind-blowing. It's one thing to read about those ice caps,
Right.
but to actually see them with your own eyes must be incredible.
It is.
So Mars is at opposition this week, meaning it's at its brightest and best.
Yeah.
How long will this prime viewing window last?
Here's the really exciting part.
Okay.
Mars will be visible at night all the way until the end of November this year.
What?
This extended visibility gives astronomers and sky watchers alike
Wow.
a much longer period to observe and study the planet.
That's incredible. So we have months to catch a glimpse of Mars.
You do.
Not just a few days. But hold on. Did I hear you mention something about a comet earlier?
I did.
Is there a chance we'll get a glimpse of one of those celestial wanderers this week?
There is indeed a comet making its closest approach to Earth this week on January 13th.
Wow.
It's called C2024G3,
Wow.
also known as ATLAS.
Okay.
However, there's a catch.
Oh.
It's currently passing through the constellation Sagittarius,
Okay.
which is primarily visible from the Southern Hemisphere.
Oh.
So, unfortunately for those of us in North America, this particular comet won't be putting on a show.
That That's a bummer. But it's still fascinating to know that there's a comet zipping by us,
Yeah.
even if we can't see it from our location.
Right.
It's a good reminder that there's a whole universe out there full of events happening beyond our line of sight.
Exactly. And speaking of events, we can see there's a beautiful conjunction occurring this week
Oh,
between two of our planetary neighbors.
okay.
It's almost as if they're putting on a special dance just for us.
A conjunction, you say? I'm intrigued. Tell me more about this planetary dance.
Okay.
What planets are involved, and what exactly will we see happening?
On Saturday, January 18th,
Okay.
Venus and Saturn will appear incredibly close together in the sky.
Oh, wow.
This close approach, known as a conjunction, will make them look almost like they're touching
Wow.
a sort of celestial kiss, if you will.
A planetary kiss.
Yeah.
That sounds beautiful. I definitely want to catch that.
Of course.
Where in the sky should we be looking for this conjunction?
You'll want to look toward the western sky just after sunset.
Okay.
However, there's a slight challenge.
Oh.
Both Venus and Saturn will be setting soon after the sun, so the viewing window will be fairly short. You'll need to be quick to catch this celestial embrace.
All right, I'm marking my calendar for Saturday evening and setting a reminder to look west right after sunset.
Sounds good.
But before we get too caught up in planetary romances,
Right.
I believe you mentioned another intriguing event happening this week, a meeting between the moon and a bright star.
That's right. On Thursday, January 16th,
Okay.
the moon will have a close encounter with Regulus,
Okay.
the brightest star in the constellation, Leo.
Oh, cool.
It's a beautiful pairing to observe as they rise together in the eastern sky.
Regulus, the heart of the lion.
Yeah,
I love trying to pick out the constellations.
absolutely.
Will they appear right next to each other, or will there be some distance between them?
Think of it as a celestial waltz.
Okay.
They won't be right on top of each other, but they'll appear quite close in the sky,
Okay.
making for a stunning visual.
Wonderful. And what time should we look for this celestial duo?
You can catch them rising in the east about 4 hours after sunset,
Gotcha.
with Regulus leading the way, followed by the moon.
Okay, I'm definitely adding that to my list of must-sees for the week. It seems like every night offers something unique and fascinating to observe.
It really does. But there's even more to this week's celestial story than just these individual events. Would you be interested in exploring the bigger picture of how these events fit into the grand scheme of our solar system?
Absolutely. I'm ready to delve deeper into the wonders of the cosmos. Let's shift our focus and explore what else is happening in the night sky this week. So we've got all these amazing events happening this week.
Right.
Mars playing hide and seek with the moon, Venus, and Saturn doing a celestial tango, and the moon waltzing with Regulus.
It's a busy week up there.
It's like a whole week of cosmic choreography.
I like that.
But beyond these specific events, what else can we observe in the night sky this week?
Well,
What about the moon itself?
eh?
Isn't it going through its own changes as well?
You're absolutely right. The moon isn't just interacting with planets and stars this fun. It's also progressing through its phases.
Oh yeah, the phases of the moon.
Yeah.
I always find it fascinating how quickly its appearance changes.
Right.
Sometimes it's a bright full circle. Other times just a sliver. It's like a cosmic reminder that things are constantly changing.
Even in space.
It is a powerful reminder of the constant motion and cycles of the universe.
Yeah.
And the fascinating thing is that these changes are predictable,
Ooh.
thanks to our understanding of the moon's orbit around Earth.
Right.
We can know exactly what phase the moon will be in on any given day.
That's pretty cool. So we can predict the moon's phases, but are there any other predictable patterns we can observe in the night sky?
Yeah.
What about the constellations? They're always up there, right?
Precisely. The constellations provide a constant backdrop to all these celestial events, like a familiar map of the night sky.
Okay.
And during this week in January,
Yeah.
we have a particularly good view of some prominent winter constellations.
Winter constellations. I've always wanted to learn more about those.
Sure.
Which ones should we be on the lookout for?
Well, Orion the Hunter is a must-see.
Okay.
It's easily recognizable by its distinctive belt of 3 stars.
Right.
And if you follow those belt stars downward, you'll find Sirius the Dog Star
Oh, yeah.
in the constellation Canis Major.
Okay.
It's the brightest star in the night sky, so it's hard to miss.
I remember trying to find Orion's belt as a kid. It was like a celestial connect the dots puzzle.
I love that.
Once I found it, I felt like I had unlocked a secret code to the night sky. It's amazing how those 3 stars can make such a recognizable pattern.
It's true.
Are there any other constellations we can find using Orion as a guidepost?
Absolutely. If you follow Orion's belt stars upward, you'll encounter Taurus the Bull
Okay.
with its prominent red giant star, Aldebaran.
Cool.
It's like a celestial treasure hunt, hopping from one constellation to another, using familiar stars as your guide.
I love that analogy. So this week, as we're watching for those special events like the occultation and the conjunction,
Right.
we can also take some time to appreciate the constellations.
Yes.
Those timeless patterns that have been guiding stargazers for centuries.
Absolutely. And, thinking about these constellations, these vast patterns of stars stretching across the night sky, it really makes you realize how incredibly vast space is. It's humbling to think that we're just a tiny speck in this immense and ever-evolving universe.
It's a perspective that often gets lost in our day-to-day lives.
It does.
Stargazing provides that much-needed reminder
It does.
of our place in the grand scheme of things.
Right?
It sparks curiosity and wonder about what else might be out there beyond what we can see with our naked eye.
It really does.
Exactly. And who knows what other celestial surprises await us in the future. That's what makes exploring the night sky so exciting.
Yeah.
It's a window into the mysteries of the universe.
It is.
And there's always something new to discover.
That's a perfect way to put it. But speaking of discoveries, I'd love to share some practical tips to make your stargazing experience even more enjoyable.
Okay.
Would you be interested in learning how to maximize your chances of seeing all these wonders?
Absolutely. I'm all ears for any tips that can help us get the most out of this celestial feast. Okay, I'm ready for those stargazing tips.
All right.
We've got this incredible lineup of celestial events this week, and I want to make sure I can actually see them all.
Of course.
What's the secret to maximizing our viewing pleasure?
Well, one of the best things you can do is to minimize light pollution.
Okay.
City lights can really wash out the night sky,
Yeah,
making it much harder to see those fainter stars and planets.
that makes sense. I've definitely noticed that it's much harder to see stars when I'm in a brightly lit area.
Right.
So you're saying if we want the best view, we need to get away from the city.
Exactly. If possible, try to find a spot outside of the city limits,
Okay.
or at least somewhere with minimal surrounding light. Even driving a short distance away from the city can make a huge difference.
I remember the first time I saw the Milky Way in a truly dark sky. It was breathtaking.
Oh, wow.
It looked like a river of stars flowing across the sky.
It's a sight to behold.
I had no idea it was so bright and detailed.
It's really something else.
So besides finding a dark location,
Yeah.
are there a few other simple things we can do
Sure.
to enhance our stargazing experience?
Don't forget the basics. Dress warmly, especially during the winter months.
Right.
And bring a blanket or a comfortable chair to sit on.
Okay.
And since stargazing requires patience, a warm drink like hot chocolate can make the experience even more enjoyable.
Those are great tips. Comfort is definitely key when you're spending time outdoors.
Absolutely.
Especially at night. Is there anything else we should know before we head out to see all these amazing events?
Here's one more important tip. Be patient.
Okay.
When you first arrive at your viewing spot, give your eyes some time to adjust to the darkness.
Right.
It can take about 20 to 30 minutes for your eyes to become fully dark adapted.
Okay.
And you'll be amazed at how many more stars you can see after that.
That's a good point. I know I've gotten impatient before thinking I wasn't seeing anything special.
Yeah.
Only to be amazed by how much more detail emerged as my eyes adjusted.
It happens to the best of us.
While we're waiting for our eyes to adapt,
Yeah.
we should take the time to simply relax and enjoy the peacefulness of the night sky.
It's a good idea.
Stargazing is a wonderful way to slow down, escape the hustle and bustle of daily life, and reconnect with the natural world.
Couldn't agree more. There's something truly magical about looking up at the stars and contemplating the vastness of the universe.
It is.
It's a humbling experience that puts our everyday worries into perspective.
So to recap for everyone listening this week, we have a full moon occulting Mars at opposition.
Right.
A close conjunction between Venus and Saturn.
Yes.
And a close encounter between the moon and Regulus. Plus, we can explore the timeless beauty of the winter constellations.
Don't forget those.
It's a celestial feast for the eyes.
It truly is. And who knows, maybe this week of stargazing will spark a deeper interest in a particular planet, star, or constellation.
Yeah.
Perhaps it will lead you to your next deep dive into the fascinating world of astronomy.
Well, that's all the time we have for this week's deep dive into the night sky, but don't forget to get out there and experience these incredible events for yourself. Happy stargazing, everyone.